What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, thanks for tuning in. My name's Joe. You're watching Living on Wheels. Today we're going to be continuing on with a series that I started last week of common problems with 7.3 Powerstroke engine. The whole point of this series is just kind of give some educational information to people that may not know the 7.3 engine all too well. Maybe they already own one and they're trying to learn more. Maybe they're looking at buying one and they want to learn more. But either way, it's just to help people kind of figure out some common knowledge things about it. One other thing is I got a new camera. I'm really hoping to bump up the quality of these videos, create better content for you guys, and just overall make the channel better. But I'm still learning the camera. It's going to take a little bit of a learning curve. There might be some weird things I'm still trying to figure out, but hopefully the video turns out all right and it's helpful to you guys. So nonetheless, let's get started. For those of you that don't know, that is my 7.3 Powerstroke 2000 7.3. It's my pride and joy. If you're wondering what that is in the bed, that is actually a wheelchair crane lift, or whatever you want to call it, because, well, I am in a wheelchair. So I guess that's that. Answer that question for you guys. But yes, that's my truck, 2000 7.3 Powerstroke. That's kind of the main highlight of the channel, and kind of what I've been focusing on for the time being. I've had some people make comments of that this is a 7.3 channel, and I guess for the most part it is, or it has been, because that's the truck I own. I love the 7.3s, don't get me wrong, but my whole goal for this channel is to kind of grow it into something more where I can have a lot of different fun projects, different platforms to work on, just overall an entertaining thing. So for today, we're going to be going over the common problem of the fuel bowl in these trucks. It's not a terrible design, but it wasn't a great design. It does have some issues with it, some issues that I addressed in a certain way that I will let you guys know about. But for now, we're going to go over the fuel bowl, and I'll start kind of pointing out some problems to you guys, or some common problems. Here we are looking at the fuel bowl. This is kind of the orientation you'll be looking at it in the truck. To start off with, obviously this is the lid that you would undo to take the filter out and change the filters. The fuel bowl mounts through the high pressure oil pump reservoir at the front of the engine, and I will show you guys that once I go under the hood. But it basically has these two mounting bolts. They go through the reservoir and hold it in place. It's not too complicated, but that's how it mounts up. Moving on from there, you have your fuel return line that attaches up here at the top right of the fuel bowl, and you have your fuel feed line, which is this one right down here. Kind of easy to tell. Feed line's bigger. I think it's a 1/2 inch line, and then that's a 3/8 return line. I guess to start off with, the first problem that these fuel bowls have, or design flaw, is this piece right here. You'll notice for mine that this is a very shiny billet piece of aluminum. The reason for that is I was doing some work on my truck. I took the fuel line off of this and was going to put it back on, and I completely cracked the cast aluminum, broke it off. Fuel was leaking, wasn't good. Basically couldn't run the truck as it was. That problem I had of breaking it off is a very common issue if you're working with a fuel return line, especially with how the O-rings seal. It's just kind of goofy. I'll go over that in just a little bit, but upgrade that I would highly recommend to anybody that's going to be working on these fuel bowls is just to buy the billet piece and forget about it. You don't want to be working on this like I was on a Friday night and snap off that piece of aluminum and have fuel leaking all over your engine if you want to run it, and be out of a truck until you can get it shipped in the next week. It's not a common part that I found stocked in any stores. I believe I got this through Diesel O-rings. Not 100% sure. There's a number of people that sell it, but I would highly recommend getting the billet fuel return piece. So inside of this is also your fuel pressure regulator. How it works is you basically have your spring, holds the yellow valve up tight, and under a certain amount of pressure it'll slowly bleed off. So that holds the pressure inside the fuel bowl, and then as the pressure builds up, it'll slowly bleed back out to the return line. Not a super complicated system. A very common upgrade for people doing this, and something I did on this fuel pump, is to remove the stock spring and put in a slightly heavier one that more than often is sold with these billet plates. And it just, because the spring's a little bit heavier, it holds a little bit higher of a fuel pressure, which most people tend to like. So moving on from there, so here is the rear side of the pump that you will see facing towards the firewall of the truck. Pretty simple. It's nice to be able to see it outside of the truck so you can kind of see what's going on. This is your fuel drain valve, which drains out of this port right there, down at the bottom. So to drain your fuel bowl, you basically just move that lever back towards the firewall, and it opens up a valve inside here that lets the fuel drain out of the bowl. This is used for a couple reasons. One, if you're changing your fuel filters, you can drain the bowl, get the fuel out of it so you don't make a mess inside your engine bay. And two, if you have a water and fuel light, the water will collect down at the bottom of this fuel bowl and you can drain it out here. Now where this line runs to, it runs down into the valley of the engine, down to the front of the engine, and kind of drains down near the front of your engine. I'll go over it a little bit more once I actually get in the cab. This valve right here is probably the biggest problem that these fuel bowls have entirely. Both the 7.3 Powerstrokes I've owned and many people I've talked to, this fuel bowl has O-rings down in, or this fuel valve has O-rings down inside of it, and it just ends up leaking. If you have fuel in the valley of your engine, I would say 9 times out of 10 it is this. It's rebuildable. You can get O-ring kits like this to rebuild your entire fuel bowl, but it is a pain. Moving on from there, we have your fuel bowl heater plug that's right here. Not a whole lot to say about it. Basically, I believe the design of it was to help keep fuel from gelling inside your fuel bowl in really cool conditions. Now, a problem with it is it can get shorted out if the fuel heater element inside of it goes bad. It'll short the plug, which will then short the fuse, and if that fuse shorts, your truck is going to have a no start situation where, as it says, it won't start. I can't remember which fuse it is exactly, but that does cause a no start issue. Some people just unplug it. Now lastly, there are two ports right here and here. These are your fuel feed ports to both sides of the head. I believe this one goes to the rear passenger side. This one goes to the front passenger side. It is what it is. They're just basically metal fuel lines that go to the ports of the head. Last problem with this setup, and another pain in the butt, is how these fuel lines actually seal. They have these weird flat style O-ring type things. I wouldn't even call them O-ring, but that's probably what they closest resemble. And as you screw on the fuel line, it actually starts to shred this O-ring and wrap it around the threads, basically. And it works. It's kind of a pain to get it to work right the first time. And another problem is that they're a one-time use. If you mess it up, or you have to take a line off to work on something, or whatever, if you take a line off, you have to replace the O-ring. It's not like a simple O-ring where you can undo it, put it back on. Pain in the butt, bad design. It is what it is. Alright, so one last thing. I keep thinking of last things to say, but I think this is the last. Most people want to run fuel pressure gauges on these trucks. It's a good idea. Helps you with diagnosing things, figuring out what's wrong if you have a problem. But as far as setting it up goes, there's kind of two places on these factory bowls to set it up. One is a port right here, and one is a port right there that I have unplugged. I think most people put it down there because that gives you the fuel pressure that is actually going into the heads of your engine, and you get a really accurate measurement of what your fuel pressure is basically right before the injectors, which is useful. So I know that was kind of a lot of information, super quick. I'm sure some of you guys are wondering, if my fuel bowl is here on the table, what's in my truck? So I'll go show you guys what my setup is, and talk about it a little bit. I think it's a much better setup than this factory fuel bowl. All right, so here we are in the engine bay. As you can see, where my fuel bowl would be, there is no fuel bowl. That is because, as you notice, my fuel bowl is in there on the counter. I got rid of it. I didn't like it. I was tired of dealing with the issues with it. Yeah, I wanted it out there. Cleans up the engine bay, makes a lot of things easier to work on, and I think there are better systems out there. So, that being said, I'll kind of go over some things that I covered in there. You can see right here and there, there's a hole there and a bolt there. That's where the two mounting bolts are for the fuel bowl that I talked about in the beginning, and those are what holds it to the oil pump reservoir there. Now, if we're to look inside the engine, that is my fuel bowl, more or less. That is a CNC block off or fuel bowl delete block. I have my fuel inlet on this hose, half-inch hose coming in. That sensor right there is my fuel pressure sensor. So unlike the factory fuel system, I'm now running fuel to all four corners of the head, or the heads. One right there, one right in there. It's hard to see, but it's in there, trust me. And then to the back corner back there and the back corner back there. So like I said, I got tired of the factory fuel bowl giving me issues, starting to leak, so I ended up getting rid of it. This is my fuel pressure, my fuel system. All these fuel lines and the fuel delete block are from CNC Fabrication. Overall, I've been very happy with their product so far. I have a full video of actually installing and building my fuel system. This is just kind of the tip of the iceberg. I rebuilt the entire system all the way back to the fuel tank pretty much. If you're interested in that, I'll leave a link in this video so you can check it out. As I mentioned, on the fuel bowl, it has the drain valve, which normally sticks out towards the rear of the rear of the engine, and then it actually wraps around down by your AC compressor and then down the front of the engine and drains out right basically down there near your steering linkages. And then your two fuel lines that you do have, one connects to the back of the engine back there, the other one connects right up here. Obviously I'm connecting to all four ports now. That eliminates the deadheaded issues that these engines have. In general, I think that kind of covers my fuel system, what I did, why I don't have the fuel bowl in my truck anymore. All right, well there you guys go. That's the fuel system update for me. Those are some problems, or the most common problems that I've seen on these 7.3 Powerstroke fuel systems or fuel bowls. We're not even covering the rest of the fuel system, but for the fuel bowls, those are the most common problems you'll run into, and just things to be aware of. It's good to know your truck, know what could go wrong, know how to work on it. I encourage you to do your own research. By no means am I an expert. I'm just giving you guys my opinion on things I've learned through my experiences and things I've learned through other people's experiences. I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you guys that my way is the best way. I'm going to tell you guys my experiences. You guys can come to your own conclusions. If you like what I've done, then awesome. If I don't like what I've done, then I'll tell you guys. Hopefully keep you guys from making the same mistake. Hopefully you guys have learned something. To anybody out there that's new, I encourage you to subscribe. Got a lot more content on this truck and hopefully other trucks in the near future. A lot of stuff planned for this channel over the next year. I encourage you guys to subscribe so you don't miss out. It's a Friday, so happy Friday to you all. Hopefully you guys can have a productive weekend, whether that's working on your truck, car, or something else. Just get something done. Make yourself feel good about your progress. I'll catch you guys next week. Have a good weekend.
Oh,